Hey everyone, I come to you with urgency. There's never been a greater threat to American democracy than what we're facing right now, not in any of our lifetimes. The shirt I'm wearing says Destroy American Fascism. And at first, I wondered if I should even wear this for being too political. But then I realized that's exactly the problem we're facing. The extremist regime in power wants you to believe that standing against fascism is somehow controversial. They want us to see calls for basic humanity standing up against racism, misogyny, authoritarianism as somehow radical or partisan. But that's a lie. Anti fascism is not political, it's the foundation of democracy itself. It's what world wars were fought over. These aren't fringe ideas, they're basic human values. And refusing to call them out is how we lose them. I've always hated injustice and hypocrisy, whether that's in a small town or on a national policy level. In high school, there was this rule that boys couldn't wear shorts to school, and yet girls could wear skirts. And so I wrote my first letter to the editor of the town newspaper protesting what I thought was just, hypocrisy. But in 2025, we're facing something so much bigger and so much darker. We're watching our basic human rights being shredded by a regime that is following the playbook of the worst dictators in history. This isn't just about politics. This is about the soul of America. I'm not religious. That's my right under the Constitution. If you are, I defend your right to believe, to pray, to gather. But your faith is not the law of this country. Our kids deserve an education free from forced religious doctrine. That is the promise of the First Amendment. And now we're seeing a new wave of censorship as books are being banned in public libraries and schools across the country. This isn't about protecting our children. It's about controlling what they read, what they learn, and how they think. When politicians and extremists ban books, they're trying to rewrite our future and erase our freedom to choose our ideas for ourselves. I can't stand the hate and the lies spewed by far right extremists and conspiracy pushers. But as long as they're not inciting violence, they have the right to speak. That's how free speech works. I will defend their right even when it turns my stomach, because when we start picking and choosing whose speech counts, we all lose. And yes, I despise seeing Nazis, Proud Boys, the KKK marching in our streets. I hate what they stand for, but their right to assemble is protected. If we silence even the worst voices, we set a precedent that will one day be used against us. And it's already happening. I don't own a gun. I never have. But I respect the right for you to own one under the Second Amendment. What I can accept, what nobody should accept, is a country where mass shootings have become the routine, expected, and even normalized thing. I am tired of waking up to news of bloodshed in our schools, our churches, our grocery stores, our concerts, our malls, our movie theaters. The very places we're supposed to feel safe. I want to live in America where our kids come home from school alive, where nobody has to scan for exits at a concert, where you can shop for groceries or sit in a synagogue or celebrate at your nightclub without fear for your life. We can respect the Second Amendment and still demand basic common sense gun safety. This is not freedom. This is fear. What makes America different, what made me proud to grow up here, was a promise of real freedom. You can speak your mind. You can protest in the streets. You can hold a sign up and demand change. That's America. That's what so many fought and died for. And let's be real. Unless you're indigenous, your family came here from somewhere else. We are all immigrants. Some came seeking hope. Some horrifically came in chains against their will. So what makes some immigrants okay and some not? Racism, white supremacy. But America's greatness is the melting pot. It's the Statue of Liberty. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses. The Constitution promises due process for everyone. No one should be snatched off the street, locked up, or deported without justice and a fair hearing. That's not just illegal, it's un-American. But that is exactly what's happening right now under the Trump regime. The 14th Amendment says equal protection for all, not for just the powerful, the connected, or those who fit in. We cannot allow anyone to be treated as less than because of their race, their religion, or who they love. That's not just the law, it's morality. I believe in healthcare as a human right. I believe in schools that teach facts, not religious dogma. I believe in a democracy where every vote counts, no matter your zip code or your district, your color or your party. I believe you should be able to live without hate and without fear. So where does that leave us? Your voice matters. Maybe now more than ever. And you might wonder what you can do. Well, here's a few things to start. Speak out, even if it's just on social media, even if you've never used your voice before. Share your story, share the truth, call out hate and hypocrisy when you see it. Get the volumes up on this stuff. Protest peacefully and loudly. Join together with others. Show the world we are not backing down. Boycott companies that are complicit in silencing the truth or empowering extremists. Look what just happened at Disney. When they removed Jimmy Kimmel, people stood up and Disney lost nearly $4 billion. People noticed, people acted. Remember, real change is possible. Just look at Nepal, where the people rose up and brought down tyranny. History's made of ordinary people who refuse to stay silent. If enough of us speak and act and support each other, we can make a difference. Raise your voice wherever you can. Refuse to be silent. That's how we protect the values and the basic humanity that makes life worth living. On October 18th, there is a nationwide No King's Day protest. It's going to be in just about every city. Go find it and come join, please.